Hey everyone, welcome back to Fruit Blossom, and in today's video I'm going over my Five Nights at Freddy's Funko Pop collection. So in this video we're going to be showing 25 Funko Pops, all based on Five Nights at Freddy's characters that I have. So this is my little collection. I was going to make videos on like the separate waves and stuff, but I kind of just have bits and bobs from each wave, so I thought it'd be better to just do sort of a whole collection video. So if you don't know, I just have sort of unscripted videos where I just ramble about stuff that I like, including FNAF and including FNAF merch. So yeah, we got Funko Pops to check out today. Okay, starting off we have Freddy, and I'll be honest, I don't think the Pops look great, a lot of them. I do like them, but they're very basic. Obviously old Pops used to just look like this, where they just have like the default pose, and later on they started making them a bit more interesting. But I think it does work quite well for FNAF because they're like robots. But this is a pretty great pop, to be honest. Obviously, the biggest complaint most people have is the upper teeth, which are just not prevalent on the FNAF 1 characters. And it does make him look a bit goofy. But honestly, I like this pop. Obviously, they'll have head rotation, articulation, because that's just what pops have. And I think this is a great little figure. If you're just a casual FNAF fan and you might want a little bobblehead. The head doesn't bobble, but it still would look nice on like a desk or something. I'd definitely get one of these, maybe your favourite character, although they did skip out a lot of characters, so you might not be able to do that. But yeah, that's Freddy. I'm going to go over these quite quickly because we got a lot to go over, but if anything interesting is on one of them, I'll obviously go through it. Next up is Bonnie, and some of these do have a bit of, yeah, there's a big line on the back of this one. I got it second hand. I don't actually even have the pop box for this Bonnie. He's the only one I don't have the box for. Because I got second hand, so it does have a bit of scratches and some other problems on him. As you can see, the freckles are a bit messed up, but I don't mind, to be honest, because when you look from afar, he looks great, and Bonnie's just such a great design. I really like him, and they got his colours right. Obviously they could have made him blue, but he's a bit more purple like he is in FNAF 1. It's pretty accurate. I really like him. And it's just nice to have the first three here, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica. I really like having these guys together because it kind of looks like FNAF 3, if you know what I mean, where there's the three bobbleheads on the desk. So it just kind of reminds me of that. But anyways, Chica is probably my least favourite so far. She has an extra big head. I mean, look at her head compared to these guys. Really big head, I'm not sure why. And the eyes are a bit weird. I'm not sure what's going on here. She's got like a ring around her regular eye, and then she got extra big sockets, which if they all had this I'd understand, but I don't know why just Chica has that. Other than that though, great pop. It would have been nice if she had the cupcake. They did actually remake the classic characters as Funko Pops more recently. I think they were kind of for like the FNAF movie, judging by the Foxy one looking like FNAF movie Foxy. And that Chica does have the cupcake. But they did make a cupcake pop on its own, so I don't mind so much. It just would have been a nice detail, I guess. And then our last main character is Foxy, and this one really struggles to stand up, so I'm a bit worried. As you can see, he's bending back a lot. I don't know if that's just mine, or if that's all of them. If you have this pop, let me know if yours has the same problem. But this one's the most detailed yet. He's got all of the withering in his chest, and he's got the endo feet, the endo hand, and the hook. And he's got a great head shape, great colour too. Some of the other Foxy merch from this time is really saturated. You've got the figure and the mystery mini that are bright red. I feel like this is way more of a Foxy colour, so I like that. And our next pop, we're moving on, skipping FNAF 2, going straight to FNAF 3 for now, because this was another one that released. These are all the first series, by the way, the first ones that released. We have Springtrap. So yeah, this is a really well designed one. I mean, just looking at like the chest and the legs and stuff, they've got like every last detail in there, which is great. Obviously he does look a bit silly because he's not very scary, he's just a goofy guy, but you know, they did the best they could, honestly. I think this one looks great. The eyes look nice. They managed to make them look kind of human, which obviously makes sense. William after an inside Springtrap suit. They've also got like a bumpy texture here. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's got like a bumpy, lumpy texture, which makes sense because obviously the Springlock suit has been rotting in the back room for like 30 years. So that makes a lot of sense, and I think that's a great addition. The last regular pop they released for Series 1 is Nightmare Freddy. So these 6 were the main series, the main lineup for the first Funko Pop collection, and then they did other series and other random pops as they went on. But yes, this is the last one here, Nightmare Freddy. So obviously this is based off of FNAF 4 Freddy. The biggest glaring issue is they tried their hardest to just make him the same as Freddy, but just a bit different. So similar to the Nightmare Freddy plush, he's got a really light colour because they just tried to use the original Freddy, which is quite lazy, but I don't mind. This is still a pretty detailed pop. I mean, just looking at the chest, he's got all the essential withering that Nightmare Freddy has, and he's got the large teeth, the red eyes, which is pretty unusual because you don't really see that many pops who have eye colours that aren't just black, but the Nightmares have that, which is really good. And I need to lean over. Oh, it's really hard to reach all the way over there. But yeah, so this is the original Series 1 lineup of 6. They made some exclusives as well. Golden Freddy, Shadow Freddy, Shadow Bonnie. I don't have any of those because they're like really expensive. But I do have one last one from the first series. This is an exclusive Toy Foxy / Funtime Foxy. It's Toy Foxy, but they called it Funtime Foxy. So this is like pre-withered Mangle before he got withered, and you might be able to tell this is actually the flocked version, so it's really fluffy and fuzzy, which is a problem because that means dirt arises on it, if you can see there. So we're moving on to Series 2 now, and it's a bit hard to sort of figure out when all of these released and what's considered what series. So we're moving on to the rest of the Nightmares. To go with Nightmare Freddy, we have Nightmare Foxy, and this one looks great, honestly. I really love how they actually bothered to change it from the regular Foxy. As you can see, completely different head mold, very different. I'm just glad they didn't go for the lazy recolor again. He's got the snout withering and the orange eyes, which is a core part of Nightmare Foxy. The orange eyes, that looks great. And he's got all of his withering. He's got these big, terrifying nightmare endoskeleton feet. Love that. He even has the black on the hook, which is a very good attention to detail. Nice figure here. The only thing that could make these figures better, honestly, is if they were posed. Obviously, that would look great. Having Nightmare Foxy sort of doing his pose when he's coming out of the closet in FNAF 4, that would look really great. I would have liked that. Next up is Nightmare Bonnie, and the first thing I want to say about this figure is it is really heavy. Like, I don't know why, I don't know what's in this, but it's so much heavier than the rest of them. Really adds to that Nightmare aesthetic. He's got all the sort of withering that Nightmare Bonnie has in the game. His chest's just completely ripped open in the middle, and he's got the sort of whiskers to the side, which I really like. Oh, definitely whiskers, and then these sort of things sticking out of his eyes, which a couple of the Nightmares have. Love that so much. That just makes me wish they made a Nightmare Fredbear pop. That would have been so awesome. They didn't, unfortunately. And our last Nightmare and our last Final Phase 4 character who was made into a Funko Pop is Nightmare Chica. And once again, not a recolor at all. Completely different head mold here. If you go all the way around, the jaw is just completely wide open, which I just love that so much. It really adds a lot of character to Nightmare Chica. And of course, we got the blue and red eye, which is kind of seen in the game. It's more of a white eye and then one red eye, but Funko did over-dramatize it a bit. Anyways, I love this figure a lot. There's not much to say about it other than Nightmare Cupcake would have been nice. But there is actually a Nightmare Cupcake pop. An entire massive Nightmare Cupcake pop. I'll put it on screen now. I unfortunately don't have it, but that is a great one. That is one that I do hope to add to my collection in the future, but I'm not too interested right now. So maybe in the future I'll get that. So we've done FNAF 1, FNAF 3, because they didn't do Phantoms. There is a Phantom Foxy, but it's really hard to get. We've done FNAF 4, so let's go back to FNAF 2 now and get some toy animatronics in here. Toy Freddy. This one's great. I actually got this really recently. I got it 2025. And yeah, it's just a great figure. I like how this one's a bit smaller than the others. It makes sense. I don't think the toy animatronics is supposed to be too big. And he's really cute as well. It's actually one of the cuter ones. He's got a perfect like face shape that distinguishes him as Toy Freddy. And the colouring's great too. They didn't make him super dark like they did with the plush. And I just think he's a great figure. Nice little addition. Unfortunately, they didn't make Toy Barney or Toy Chica ever as Funko Pops. So he doesn't have any friends. But he does have an annoying little cousin, I guess, Balloon Boy. Everyone's least favourite. I don't mind Balloon Boy, but this pop is great. I think we can all agree that this is a really nice pop here. He's got his balloon, his sign. Unfortunately, his balloon's kind of like falling down. It'd be nice if I could just stick it up like that. But this is a really great pop. I think it's because pops are better when they're human. I think they look a bit better. So this kind of just makes sense to make Balloon Boy. But yeah, I don't have much to say about this. It's perfectly accurate. He's got his propeller and it just looks great. I'm going to have to sort of twist him a bit so that he could fit with everyone else. There we go. He is quite big though. I guess it's because they like to make all Funko Pops the same size. More or less. We'll get to that later. But him next to Toy Freddy looks a bit goofy because he's like the same size. But it's fine. I don't mind. I'm going to quickly talk about another FNAF 2 character that I used to have. I used to have the original Withered Bonnie Pop. It's super rare and expensive though. So when they released a new version of it with red eyes and just a better pose, I decided that I was going to sell my old one because I personally just get these because I collect because I like the characters, not for reselling or for completion. So I see a better version of Wither Bonnie for cheaper and I think, okay, well I'm going to get that one. But for now, we've got one final FNAF 2 character before we move on to sister location. So here is the marionette, and this one actually released a lot later, in 2018 I believe. I love this one, this is really great. He's in the puppet box, which is awesome. I am hoping to sell this one, because similar to Wither Bonnie, they did remake the marionette, and it looks better, so I'll probably trade that out. But this is a great pop. It always annoyed me that he doesn't have the what's it called? The white, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? The stripes on his arm, that's it. He doesn't have those. And the box, interestingly enough, I think the box is over here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. The box doesn't have the tear stripes as well. The box art, he doesn't have any tears. So I guess he's a bit happier now, which is good. But I love this one. It's so unique how they put him in the box. And I'm really glad they decided to make Marionette, even if it was quite a bit after they made the other FNAF 2 characters. Okay, so it's this location time now. Starting off, we have Funtime Freddy. And this is our last... Oh, actually, I was going to say it's our last Freddy. Kind of is, but we do have Golden Freddy later on, so we'll get to that. But anyways, here's our last sort of mainline Freddy. And he's got a little Bon-Bon puppet. That's the first thing I obviously have to mention. That is so adorable. They did make a full-size Bon-Bon pop, but that's just so cute. And next up is Funtime Foxy. And fun fact about this one, my first ever FNAF Funko Pop, and my third ever Funko Pop in general. My first two Funko Pops were Bendy and Ink Machine. I got the Ink Demon and Sammy Lawrence. Then I got this guy when I first got into FNAF. And then I started collecting some Marvel Pops. But yeah, I love this guy just because it's very nostalgic to me. And the eyes are interesting. He's almost got like actual eyes. I don't know if that's just sort of how they had to do it or what, but he looks very different to the others. And I like that a lot. It makes him stand out. So let's move on to the main character, I guess, of this location, which is Circus Baby. And this one's massive because of the pigtails, as you can see. Almost as big as Balloon Boy in width. I really like this one. It's really cute, and it took me a while to get it, interestingly enough. I think it was probably maybe like 2020 I had to get this one because I don't know why, but I just struggled to find it, like unlike the rest of this location pops. But yeah, Baby just has a really great design in my opinion, and it just choreographs really well into Funko Pop. The eyes are super detailed. Obviously they had to include the green in the eyes for Elizabeth possessing Baby. Okay, that's much better. So now we have one space here left for the final cis location character, which is Ballora, and I have to have her on a stand because she just will not stand up without it. A lot of these do come with stands, but I just don't really need them. Like Baby has a stand, but she stands up fine. Ballora, however, doesn't. But it does make it so you can do like a cool spin, like, you know, Ballerina Blora. This is another great one. I don't really care that much about it. The eyes are obviously closed, so I'm glad they're able to sort of do that well. Yeah, it's just, it works. It looks like Blora. Okay, so they actually released all of his location characters again, but as jump scare forms. I only have one of them, but it's really great. This is Jump Scare Funtime Foxy, and as you can see, all the face plates are open, and it exposes the endoskeleton inside, and it's jump scaring. I think the thing that brings this figure down has to be how he's just standing there. He's not like doing a jump scare pose, jumping at you, which makes him look pretty goofy. It's just like, I guess I'm supposed to jump scare you now. But still, if we just look at the head here, that's an amazing mold, really detailed, and I really like that they decided to make that. So our next pops are pretty boring, to be honest. I'm gonna rush through these. We got the Twisted Wolf from the Twisted Ones novel. I never read it, I never cared too much for the books. And then another non-game character is this Blacklight Cupcake. So unfortunately my only cupcake, and it's also my only Blacklight pop. But yeah, they made, Funko had this phase back in like 2018, where they just made Blacklight pops, and Blacklight figures, and Blacklight plushies, and Blacklight mystery minis, and Blacklight shirts, and Blacklight everything. So yeah, this is a product of that time. It's cool colours, I guess. They could have probably done more interesting colours, but he's alright. And here are our two pops from Pizza Sim. We have Mr. Hippo, everyone's favourite storyteller, and Happy Frog. I actually have a duplicate of this Happy Frog, as well as a duplicate of Ballora, actually. Don't care too much for these. They are alright, but I just don't really care for the Pizza Sim mediocre melody characters. They're kind of boring. Okay, and I've saved the best for last, and they finally made FNAF 2 Withered animatronics, including a remake of Withered Barney here that I told you about, this time with red eyes, and his hand is sticking up and he's actually doing a pose. Love this guy, that's great. Really nice design. I'm surprised they were able to actually make Withered Barney work so well with his face being ripped off and stuff, but it actually looks amazing. I love that pop. And they made with a Freddy, Chica, and Foxy. I unfortunately don't have any of them. I don't care that much, to be honest. They look alright. But we do have Withered Golden Freddy. I had to get this guy because, you know, I'm never going to get the classic Golden Freddy, so Withered Golden Freddy is the next best thing. And this guy looks really cool. He's all withered, obviously, but he has the same sort of interesting texture that Springtrap has, which is a great detail. He's slumped over just like he is in the office in FNAF 2 and UCM, and honestly it's just a perfect design. I love it. Our final Funko Pop of the day, aka my favourite Funko Pop that I own. This pop is so good that we're going to have to make a bit of space, move along, what are you called? Mediocre melodies. I can't even remember the names. It is Mango! Would you look at this? This is literally the best FNAF pop they've ever made, and there is no doubt about it. It is massive, it stands tall, way over everyone else, and it's so detailed. This is so good. They really did redeem themselves from that Funtime Foxy pop earlier. We've got the endo head, the hands, every last detail, even the little tail. Oh, just look at this head design. They even have the second set of teeth. One of the eyes is broken down. This is just, honestly, the perfect Five Nights at Freddy's pop. I'm so glad that not only did they make this, but that I own it. I was really scared when I found out that they were making this, that it was going to be super hard to get. I got it for like $30, so I was really happy, and I just love it. If you can, you must buy this pop. It is incredible. One of my favourite pieces of FNAF merch that I own. And with that, that is all 25 of my Five Nights at Freddy's Funko Pops. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what else I should make a video on. I really like your support. Any constructive criticism would be appreciated because I'm new to making videos. This was only one of my first videos. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Goodbye!